Hi, everybody. This is Carla. I just am here to share with you a few excerpts from some of the online classes that I've been teaching. And these ones are Yin Yoga. Yin Yoga is a lovely opportunity to slow things down, to create a little space of rest and ease while you stretch your body gently. It's so lovely to do it at home in your own comfortable space that you can create. Stick around and see some of the poses that we do. And at the end, you're going to get a link if you would be interested in joining in for a longer session. Thank you. Let's get ourselves started in Supta Baddha Konasana. If you have a blanket or a bolster to place underneath your spine, grab that. A pillow will do the trick too if you don't have one of those handy. And take a couple of breaths to kind of settle yourself there, to maybe move those hips around and find that right spot in the low back, to let the soles of the feet come together. Let the knees fall open. And if that's feeling like it's too much for the low back or for the hips, know that you can just extend those legs out. Roll the shoulders down the back. And feel like you can take that lovely deep inhale in and a nice exhale out. And if one or two more of those would feel really good, I invite you to do that. Maybe even a little breath hold if that feels good, or just linger in the exhale. Just let the exhale feel a little longer. And that little bit of space to just feel like you're slowing down. And as I was saying, I know I've had a little bit of time to kind of be a little more mellow today, more mellow than a usual Monday. But still give yourself permission to have that little bit of space to transition into your practice, to feel that energy around you and maybe the noises around you, space around you. And as you send that awareness out, feel like you notice and then just start to draw it back towards you. Feel that energy within you. Feel that space within you. Feel that physical quality of the muscles along the spine, the muscles in your neck. Let them soften and sink into that support. Feel that tug of gravity that opens up the hips, and even allow it to open up across the front of the shoulders. Finding that quality of space without pushing into it. Feel the breath in the body. Night like tonight, that just little bit of warm air along the back of our throat. Feel of that inhale and that exhale. Feel that breath expanding into our collarbones and our rib cage and our belly. And that sense of softness and ease as we exhale. And these little qualities within both of those, at both the inhale and the exhale. That sense of bringing in something new with our inhale. That feeling of letting go with our exhale. And without trying to change anything, just notice if one of those feels longer. Where does your breath want to linger today? Is it in that inhale? Is it in that exhale? Both of those qualities equally good for us. And take a moment to let go of any effort in that breath. And just take a moment to just let yourself be. Let the pose happen, let the breath happen, let the practice happen. And just in this little quiet moment that we can start to create space to set an intention or a dedication. Maybe some of those qualities of our late summer, that feeling of appreciation, that feeling of lingering, or whatever else might float up for you. And that opportunity to once again share a breath, taking that lovely deep inhale in, exhale out. And at your own pace, let the hands come to the knees or to your thighs to draw them back together. And just extend those legs out in front of you and take a little pause there. Again, we're not rushing anything tonight. So just move at your own pace. And if you have that support beneath you, just kind of roll to one side and slide that support out. But make your way onto your back. And do have a strap handy as you do that. So just take a moment again. Laying down on the back, feeling that release into the spine, the front of the shoulders, and maybe starting to bend the knees and plant the feet. Also finding that quality of just being grounded and stable. Feel the natural curves of the spine, that sense of length without effort. And then let's bring that left knee to the chest. And before we kind of come into the full stretch, let's just grab behind the left leg, straighten the leg, and it doesn't have to be perfectly straight here, but just enough. We're going to do just a couple of nice little rotations into that left ankle. So try to make some nice big full rotations. Feel like you're leading with the big toe and then the pinky toe. And then after you do, let's say about 3 or 5 in one direction, just move it in that opposite direction. Also, that quality of end of the day on a nice warm day of just getting things that might feel a little stuck in the lower part of the body to move in a different direction. And then once you've done that, you can bend that left knee, bring that strap to the ball of the foot, and just start to extend and straighten that left leg. Letting your hands grab a hold of that strap wherever it's comfortable, and then letting the shoulders relax. Worrying less about having that leg in that 90-degree position as having the legs straight so that you've got that nice bit of length through the whole back of the leg. And then we'll extend that right leg out when you're ready and let the right leg relax as well. And we've got a bit of time here. So feel like you're letting go of that tension that lingers in the legs and the low back. Maybe even right into the spine. Use that exhale to encourage it to just soften and let go. Let the pelvis feel nice and heavy. And just a little bit longer here. We're going to take this into a twist. So a little bit of work for that outer hip. So bend the right knee, plant the right foot into the mat. Strap moves into that right hand. Lift that left hip, just slide it over to the left about an inch or so. Re-extend that right leg out in front of you and just take that left leg across the body to the right side. And again, just enough that you feel that stretch in that outer hip and you're not trying to force that left shoulder down. But if it's nice to bring a little twist and look a little towards the left, you can. You can continue to press a little bit into that left heel to get a little more length into that side outer hip area. And then let's slowly bring that back to center. You can readjust those hips. Just take a breath or two here again, just a little extra space. And then slide the strap off of that left foot. Let's extend the left leg. And again, take a moment here to pause and notice that difference between the right side and the left side. Bend the knees of both legs, plant the feet, take a breath here. You might even notice a little difference in that low back in this position. And then we'll take that, we'll bring the right knee to the chest, grabbing behind the back of the leg for a moment. And just straighten the leg. Again, does not need to be perfectly straight here. We're just going to do those rotations in the ankle just to kind of get things moving in there. Hopefully, because we got to be outside a little bit today and enjoy some of this lovely late summer weather. Warm days, little breeze, all the good stuff. Again, moving in both directions, make as big of circles as you can with the feet to move that ankle. And then once you feel like you've balanced in both directions, bend that right knee, strap to the ball of the right foot as you extend the right leg, and then relax the shoulders as you do that. If there's a little movement here as you kind of settle in, let there be a little movement. We're not locking the knee, but lengthening. And when it's good, let's let that left leg come out in front of you and let that relax too. As you bring that length into the back of the leg and the low back, notice that the back of the neck doesn't overarch in any way. Feel that length through the whole back line of the body. Few more breaths here. No tension in the shoulders or the jaw. And then we'll start to move this into our twist. Bend that left leg, plant that left foot. Strap moves into the left hand. Just lift your right hip, slide it over an inch or so. Re-extend that left leg as you take the right leg across the body. And again, just wherever is right to feel that nice little bit of length in the back of the legs. Keeping the legs straight. If you're cramped for space, you could always do this with a bent knee. If it's nice to bring that twist through the whole of the spine, right to the neck, you can draw your gaze to the right or just keep it neutral. And let's slowly start to bring that back through to center. Right leg back to center. Take a little pause here. Adjust the hips if you need. And then let's slide that strap off of the foot. Extend the right leg out in front of you. And enjoy, enjoy that sense of release on that right side. We're going to roll over to a side, whichever works for you. Take a nice little pause. We're going to press a hand into the mat to come up. Let's just move into, just for a couple of breaths, just right into a little child's pose. So let the big toes come together, knees nice and wide. Option is to rest your forehead on your hands. You could even do almost a little side to side in those hips if it feels good, just kind of small movements. Just inviting a little bit of space into the low back and a bit of relaxing into the back of the neck. And then take a couple of breaths, no rush. Start to extend those arms out in front of you. Take a nice little stretch into the sides. Come up to that tabletop. And if it's nice to add a couple little cat cows here to get a little movement into the body, feel free to do that. Again, just a few of these just to get the spine moving a little bit, but eventually starting to make our way into our melting heart. So keeping the hips stacked over top of the knees, walk the hands out in front of you, and just let that chest and chin start to sink towards the floor. Stay rather active into the hands so that you're not collapsing into the elbows. Maybe the forehead rests on the floor. If you want a little more of that back bend and you can manage, you can bring the chin on the floor and look between the thumbs. And keep the toes relaxed. Feel like you can widen the breath into the rib cage to create a little more space there. Continue here if this is feeling good. Or just for a few breaths, you could let the elbows touch. Let the hands come into that prayer position and then just start to bring the hands towards the back of the head, the back of the heart. But you'll get a little more of that stretch and opening into that shoulders, armpit, tricep area. And if you've got those hands in that prayer position, start to bring them back down to the floor. Start to walk the hands back to your tabletop. And again, just a couple more of those cat cows. Or if a little child's pose would feel better here in the in between, just feel like you can take that. And then we're going to sit back onto the heels, just a brief little neck stretch just to continue kind of moving to that spine before we come into some lunges. So sitting onto the heels, Virasana, tall, long, elegant spine. Let's take that right hand above that left ear and just start to guide your right ear to your right shoulder. Getting that nice little stretch into the neck and just keep it soft, keep it supported, keep it grounded. And with that idea, let the hands kind of touch the floor. Left hand can touch the floor beside you. Almost like you kind of press the floor away to just create a little resistance there and a little more sensation. And then letting that nose move towards the armpit. You can continue with that left hand on the floor if that feels good, or maybe bringing it to the thighs better. Let the left hand relax. Let the right arm float back down. Let the chin draw towards the chest. And then bring that head back through to center and little roll in the shoulders or any other movements if you need. Take that breath before we start on that second side. Left hand above right ear, and then left ear to left shoulder. And then, as always, we're not rushing. If it feels good to kind of move into it a couple of times to soften, as opposed to feeling like you're just dropping in. And that right hand can come beside you and kind of press the tips of the fingers to the floor or maybe to a block, just to create a little grounding and a little resistance. And then you can keep that right hand where it is. Use that left hand to just guide the nose, like you're drawing the nose more towards the armpit to move that stretch into a slightly different area. The right hand relax. Let that left hand drop back down. Let the chin draw towards the chest and just slowly start to bring your head back through to center. And maybe a little movement in the shoulders, or maybe a little movement in the neck, side to side, or even a nice little rotation through the neck. It might feel good. I'm going to encourage you to do some movement in your neck, and it might be a full rotation in each direction, or a little bit of that movement side to side. that little bit of stretch and then that little bit of flow. And then bringing that head back up. Let's scrunch those shoulders up to the ears. Bring it in with that big inhale and exhale. Let it all go. Thank you so much for taking a moment or two to check out this clip. If you're interested in joining a class online, head on over to our website, DuvalTylerYoga.com, and you can get some more information on Yin or any of our other classes that we teach. Thank you.